Hello, I'm Cecelia Kane, and welcome to my studio in beautiful, historic Peacham, Vermont. I am going to have a show in AVA Gallery April 29th through the 30th of May.
It's okay. It's June 4th. That's okay.
At the AVA Gallery is called How Am I Feeling Today? And it represents work documenting 89 days of my feelings as represented by looking in my bathroom mirror. I asked myself, how am I feeling right now? And I wrote the feeling in lipstick on my forehead the day. It was going to be 89 days, which represents the number of years my mother lived. This whole piece is identity about myself and my mother, living, dying, aging, and trying to give myself a little handle on what am I doing in this world and why am I here, actually. So what I did was I took photographs like this one up here. That's one of the ones in the mirror that I took. It's day 5. That's of course reversed because it's in a mirror, and I shot a selfie of it. And creaky is how I was feeling on day 5. On other days I felt happy, sad, bored. But after doing those 89 photographs, and that was back in 2009, I decided that I wanted to do portraits, drawings of each of those photographs. So the original drawing, and I've got a few of them right here as an example of some of the feelings as drawings. This is creaky. That's how I was feeling on that day. So this is an interpretation of how I felt in that window of the mirror. And then finally, I made a handkerchief. Now, what I was doing with these handkerchiefs, and this is a sample of them, is on day 5, I took these photographs and I reduced them very small, and I positioned the hankies and tested them out. And after I printed them, which I printed these hankies, I'm going to move over here, I ran the hanky through my HP printer. I opened it up. The hanky had no decoration on it except these printed flowers. And I rolled it through my printer after testing where it would land, and it bumped and jumped, and sometimes the face came out a little bit weird, but for the word creaky it really didn't matter. That just accentuated it. Artists like to call that a happy accident. And so it would come out the top, and voila. Then for the next 11 years I've taken all of these 89 photographs and I printed them all at once, and then I've been slowly quilting, beading, painting, sewing, embroidering, all of these feelings. So again, my intention has always been in my artwork to find out, like portraiture, what am I doing in this world, and what does that have to do with anything? And what I've wound up doing is mostly all of my work in some fashion is about portraiture, self-portraiture. And I draw your attention to this painting over here against the wall. It's called April and May, and it represents 2 months back in 2018. Believe it or not, this is a calendar. Each one of these symbols represents one day in these 2 months. It's part of a series called it's part of a series, excuse me, called A Year of Forgetting. And as I age, I find that I'm forgetting names, people finish my sentences for me. I'll walk in a room and not know why I'm there, or I'll leave things. And each of those ways of forgetting is a certain kind of symbol that I've jazzed up here. And it's just a way, in a way, so are these, a way to make fun of my aging. To kind of poke fun and not be really serious about it, because it's going to happen. And it is happening. So these portraits down here are just a sampling of things like, this is feeling rushed. That's how I get when I'm rushed, just very silent and intense. Tired. Breezy, I felt breezy that day. Down here, I was feeling optimistic and feeling peaceful here. Feeling cosmic, like one with the world and the stars. Here I felt satisfied, wistful. I was afraid here. There were several days of being afraid. This was on and on, I guess. Content, nostalgic, and I was pondering here. So right now, I'm working on some larger pieces that have to do with me and trees. This is definitely not a finished piece, but you can see this is a maple bark here, birds, stones, birch trees, and I'm playing with birds right now, crows, my favorite. So I'm getting into this painting too, but the viewer does not need to know any of that. I can give it in a statement, but I'm hoping to make an interesting painting whether you know the background or not. All right, and over here I have a sampling of some of the creatures that I've been working on as really they're war creatures. This is the, I'm trying to think of his name, I'm sorry. This is the zealot. This is the spinmeister. This is the prisoner of war in the background. This is Miss Perfect. That's who I used to be, not anymore. And over here is failure. One of the fears of my life was being a failure, so now I can make fun of that. So that's a sampling of some of my work, some of the humor, and some of the seriousness. So I hope you can make it to the show at AVA Gallery. It opens April 29th and it closes June 4th. Thank you.